Back on the show is Damon Jackson, who's going to be now taking on Anselmo Luna Jr. at LFA 28 on December 8th. Damon, how are you?
Doing good. How are you doing?
Doing well. It's good to talk to you again. And of course, you were supposed to fight Ty Clark on this upcoming card, but now he's decided to fight on the Ultimate Fighter, and I guess he doesn't want to compete on this fight just in case. Have you had to change much with the new opponent now?
I mean, you always kind of have to tweak up some stuff, when you get a last-minute opponent. This has happened, a couple of times in my career, just so, over time. But, like you tweak up some small things, but honestly, you try to go into every fight, well-rounded. So you're training, wrestling, jiu-jitsu, boxing, you do everything. So with the style-wise, it's similar, but definitely, Luis Luna, the dude's a tough dude. He brings a lot to the table. We've fought in the past actually, and he's a tough dude. So I'm gonna have to definitely change up the style. Like his aggression is gonna be a lot higher. So I'm gonna have to change it up quite a bit.
You haven't fought since July. Did you want that much time off, or were you trying to get a fight in between there?
So what I wanted to do, I wanted to fight 2 more times this year. I wanted to fight in October and then fight in December. And honestly, once I started training, I just felt really good about where I was at training. So I was just kind of, I wasn't like, I kind of made myself be a little hesitant, made myself sit back and just kind of be patient. And, I've been working with some great boxers, just straight boxing only. And I'm trying to, because it's always like one of those things where you go into practice and coach will be like, hey, today's stand up only or, whatever. And then you'll get into a middle of a go and then somebody's going to end up level changing and going in for a shot and stuff like that. So I'm trying to get my mindset out of being able to shoot at all. So I've been going with boxers at a boxing gym, and that helps out a lot because it's like zero tolerance for takedowns there. You can't take down a boxer in the middle of rounds because you just look like a fool. But, so I'm getting to spar with some really solid guys and, just straight boxing. And that it just helps out a lot, getting to have the extra training time and not have to worry about cutting weight and stuff like that. And then once they kind of approached me about, making the move to lightweight, and I was, I'm all about that because, my walk around, I weigh about 170 to 172. So when I go to 45, and, I walk around with about 7% body fat during, my normal, average days or whatever. And then once I have a fight, I'm, down to about in between 2 to 4% body fat once I make 45. So that's a really big cut, and it's not the healthiest thing in the world. And I'm all about, coming in at a natural weight class. I wish everybody would do it just so it would be a little more even because there is a pretty big difference when you go from 45 to 55 with the height difference and the reach, the weight gain back before the fight. So I wish there was a little bit more rules with it. I wish that people would cut a little more natural. It would make it a lot better sport just all around.
Is the plan to stay at 55 going forward, or is it just, what's that?
Yeah, no, go ahead.
Oh, no,
I
was going to say, yeah, is that sort of the plan? Is just to do this going forward, or are you going to try out this fight and see sort of what happens after this?
I didn't try to put any extra weight on. I didn't go out of my way to gain weight or anything like that. But what's crazy, it makes me have a lot of confidence whenever I get to actually lift and to work out. Because normally I'll get to train when I don't have a fight. I'll get to train, I'll get to do my my lifting and my conditioning like that. I'll get to do that for about 2 weeks into my camp. And then after that, I have to completely cut out my lifting. And so I do lose some strength, and I lose a little bit of confidence with my legs because that's the biggest thing. Once I start lifting and I'm running and I'm cycling and I'm doing, different types of things, and it build up a lot of muscle in my legs, and I feel really athletic whenever I have that weight on. And once I cut that weight off, I feel like I kind of slow down, and I don't know how well the recovery is. That one. You get 24 hours to recover, which is great, but it's just not enough really when you're cutting out, that big of a percent of your body weight, and then you have to put it back on. It's almost too much. I feel like the weight cut is a lot, but if it goes well this fight and I feel super healthy, I will most likely stay at 55 because I like the way I feel with my confidence going into the fight.
Let's talk about training camp. Who are some of your main training partners that you've been working with, helping you get ready for this fight?
We always have, like, every time that Legacy comes to Dallas, we always have, like 6, 7 guys on the card. And so same thing here. We got Miles Johns. He's got the kid. Like, if you don't know who the kid is, he'll be like a household name here in the next, 2 or 3 years. He'll be blowing it up, in the UFC. He'll be killing everybody. But Miles Johns, Steven Peterson. I'm trying to think who all we have. That's Fernie. He's in there. We have a few guys at the weight class that are like right there, either below me or above me. And that's always the best of the best. So, but I would say Miles and Peterson. They've had my camps. They've been doing something for me for my last 8 fights. So those guys, they have my back, and they're always there whenever I have a camp. So.
Excellent. What's your prediction for this fight? How do you sort of see this one ending on December 8th?
Man, it's gonna be crazy. I didn't want to get into the background, anything like crazy in the past, because it was so long ago, and you get emotional during fights and whatever, and just the way the guy carried himself. There's going to be a lot of emotion going into the fight because, he's already kind of smarted off a few times. So, like, while I was in the UFC, he was trying to, calm me out somehow. He thought that he was going to get a fight with me after I made it into UFC. And, he kind of made an ass out of himself a couple of times. But it's going to be an emotional fight on his end. I always try to stay focused on the fight, but it's going to be a pretty crazy fight. And, I have no clue where it goes. I feel that I have, great wrestling always in every fight, but I'm going to have to pay attention to everything that he has, his game plan. And I'm sure he's going to be expecting the wrestling, expecting a takedown. So, who knows? Maybe I'll stay up on the feet. I don't know where the fight will go. Honestly, I think it's going to be a crazy fight. And I would be a fool to tell you that I have a game plan that's going to be to the T, because it's going to be a tough fight.
Excellent. Now, if you get the win here, are you looking at fighting the lightweight champ Robert Watley, or are you looking at the Contender Series? Like, what's sort of on the docket after this fight, assuming all goes well?
So, I wanted to have a game plan before I made the move to 55, but I would like to fight this fight and then fight again in February when they come back to Dallas. And then after that, then I'll start making a game plan as far as picking opponents and things whatever. But I would love to fight and to fight the best guys. Luis Luna he's ranked number 1 in Texas at featherweight and at lightweight. So getting this win would be a really big confidence booster. And fighting anyone at the weight class at lightweight, it just makes me happy to fight up. I'm honestly very happy to come into the gym. Normally,
you seem in a good mood, man. Not that you were ever in a bad mood before, but I can feel the positivity. It's good.
Yeah, no, it's really weird because I never hate training. I love every bit of it. I love cutting weight. I love managing my weight. I love just fighting. I love everything about coming into practice and everything. But it seems like that last 2 weeks is just a pain in the ass. I just hate it. It makes me so mad. Somebody comes to me "How's your weight cut going?" I'm like, get the hell away from me. Stay the hell away. It's the best option to stay away. But so I've been a little more happy. I'm not having to worry about cutting weight, and so I feel good about everything. But
well, everyone's got to check out this fight. It's LFA 28 coming up here December 8th. Damon, it was good getting a chance to catch up with you again, man. Just remind people where they can find you on social media, and if you have any sponsors or shout-outs, the floor is yours.
Yeah. Well, always I try to keep it short on sponsors. You guys check them out on all my social media. It's Damon the Leech, and that's EECH, not LEACH, but Damon the Leech. You guys can check it out on there, and I try to keep everybody updated on that. So if I get a new opponent or if I get a new sponsor or something like that, I'll throw them out there. I've actually held off on announcing my new opponent, so I'm gonna, since I'm out today, later today, and letting everybody know that, and then getting this interview out. But I appreciate the interview, and I appreciate your time too.